When taking any photograph, you need to think about the light and the composition of the shot. As a rule, bright clear days are better than grey ones, and to get the best view, it's worth spending some time to walk around and look at your subject from as many angles as possible. Ideally, you also need to make sure the subject sits straight and level on the horizon, that your uprights don't tilt. This helps create a more realistic looking image with greater use possibilities. There are occasions, however, when using the dynamics created from shooting a monument from below can create impact and drama that will help an image sell. Do what our clients do. Ask yourself, what is the most interesting or recognizable element of the monument you are taking a picture of? And always remember, if the monument in your picture isn't immediately recognizable, then it's probably not going to sell. To illustrate the main do's and don'ts, I'm going to use images of the Calgary Tower in Canada. In this shot, the grey day makes the tower look flat and dull. Also, the building in the foreground completely dominates the whole picture, making this image look more like a snapshot that just happens to have the tower in the middle of the frame. You can also see the name of the hotel is clearly visible, which is something to avoid. This is a real picture killer. This shot is too dark, and the buildings creeping in from the sides of the frame draw attention away from the tower. This viewpoint also means the recognizable top part of the tower is just a small circle in the sky. Here, the tower is bigger in frame, but it's still not a good shot. It's too dark, the streetlight is very distracting, and the tower appears to be leaning way over to the left, without reason. The light is better in this shot, giving the tower an upbeat feel. The colours are vivid and the shape of the tower has more impact and good contrast. Creatively, this is an interesting image, but as you can't see the iconic shape at the top of the tower, this shot is not very commercial. This shot ticks most of the boxes. The light is good, giving the tower a three-dimensional appearance. The colours are vivid, and the tower has a crisp outline against the sky. The iconic shape at the top of the tower is also visible, making this the most commercial image so far. Even so, it's not the most interesting or creative image of the tower I've ever seen. This shot works on every level. The viewpoint works really well, the light is good, and the use of buildings in the foreground draws the eye to the tower, which helps give it a sense of place and scale. What makes this shot really stand out is the light on the foreground buildings. Given the position of the sun, these buildings should be in dark shadow, but here, the photographer has cleverly used the reflection from buildings that are out of frame on the left to make the foreground buildings one of the most interesting and creative aspects of the image. There is also great balance to this image. This combination of direct and reflected light doesn't happen all of the time, but the more time you take to plan your shots, the more you will begin to notice these sorts of opportunities and learn to make the most of them. This last shot is a real creative example, which also stands out from the crowd. This may look totally different from the last two shots, but it still has the crucial elements present, being well lit and shot from an angle that means the tower is instantly recognizable. Once you start factoring in these basic rules, they become second nature. You will notice shots like this all of the time, and that in turn will greatly increase the creativity and commercial potential of your photography. To summarize, what you need to get right for you to get a great selling shot of a monument is a building that people will recognize, shot when the light is at its best, from a good position, using the right composition, which helps create the right balance.